whatever. It's not just bullshit. It's more than that. It's bullshit plus. Oh!
And here is very...
Oh! Well, let's get started. Here. Well, we all know for this beautiful childhood memory, but the point of interest, just below the gas mask here. If you're like me, this just jumps right out at you. Baphomet, good old Baphomet. And if you don't know who Baphomet is, well, I brought up a little picture here for you. You can kind of see I'll hold it up. See if you catch the family resemblance there. Baphomet, he's a bad boy. And there he is. Oh! That's not focusing, I'm sorry. There he is. He's a bad boy. That's what he looks like. And there he is again. Ow! I'm sorry, let me get a bigger picture for you. There we go. There he is. If you'll notice, he's sort of a goat creature. And this isn't the last we'll be seeing of him. He pops up here and there. He's a bad boy. And he just likes to be included in things. Doesn't like being left out of Watchtower literature. Just wants to borrow the horror. And he's... he really likes having his picture drawn. He's a bad boy. Let's see what we got here. I don't know, do you see it? And we'll move on. Kind of life you desire. What about the kind of life Jehovah desires? An enemy of everlasting life. He hates it. Satan hates everlasting life. Who knows why? He just doesn't want you to have it. And of course, we have 1980s thief. He's a snappy dresser, by the way, and as you can tell from this picture, he does like Magnum PI. He's a big Magnum PI fan. He selects his wardrobe accordingly. Also, he wanted to steal this particular piece of gaudy jewelry. Oh my! Oh! It's a pyramid with the all-seeing eye. Pyramid with an eye in it. Who knows what that is? Who the devil is? Who the devil is this? Down here we have a couple of fellows here. There's some bad boys. And what are they doing? Well, they're conspiring to kill Jesus. They just don't like him anymore. But of interest is their little hats here. Apparently some sort of turban, or whatever these things are called. Towels. And up here we have something going on, though. This one's logical. Okay, the guy has some sort of apron over his head, and then he has this, the wraparound to hold it on. Up here, what's going on? Whoever drew this was a pretty good drawer. But what? What is that? Well, we'll just go to, we'll see what we can do. We'll just type in, this one's pretty easy. You just type in We'll go backwards here. And type in Illuminati. By the way, you just type in Illuminati into Yahoo or Bing Images here. And you're going to see a lot of pictures you recognize from Watchtower Magazine, strangely enough. Oh, what's that? Well, it's some sort of Masonic imagery. A snake, a serpent of some sort, in a full circle there. I don't know what he's doing up there. That's not a good thing though. But it just kind of, I mean, maybe not, but otherwise, I mean, you're welcome to explain to me what is this thing going on up here. I don't know. That makes that headpiece at least makes sense. What is this? Paul shed in the stoning of Christ's disciple Stephen, and I just couldn't help notice that this gentleman here is he wearing a leopard print outfit in Bible times? He's is that chiffon? I mean, all joking aside, I mean, you have a guy wearing here like a hot pink striped thing. I can do that. I can make that mental leap in my mind. You have a guy wearing a very shiny, glimmery leopard print outfit in Bible times. He just has that. It appears to be nylon. It's shining, and it's like something a gay guy would have in his, laying on his bed in his bedroom. I'm sorry. We'll move on. And just doing some studying. And oh god, a naked man in a family book. He's lifting his leg ever so slightly there, so you can't see any you can't see the length of his dong, but nevertheless, it seems curious. I mean, I hate to be the bad guy and point this out, but was it really necessary to have... I mean, couldn't they just have that caption? Or could... I don't know. Sometimes they have Adam, in many pictures, publications, cartoons, you'll see Adam, like, laying behind a bush or behind a tree or something. They'll show him from the chest up. But was it really necessary just to have a buck-naked person in a book that you're going to study with your kids? You decide. This is... Here we have a very legendary picture, but I just can't help that notice. And you may not see this at first, but I promise, after you take a look, you will never see this picture again without this jumping right out at you. We appear to have a gray alien drawn into the side of this picture, and there he is. You have, standing right there, the classic gray alien from the X-Files. And, you may say, well, that could be anything, but look at the length of this person's scarf or towel or whatever they have going on here. It takes up the third of the length of the picture. Who do you know? I mean, is this like a wedding train? Is this a... I don't know. It's just a guy. I mean, the guy's bigger than Jesus, and it's just a random guy. I mean, there's already 12 people in this picture. They really had to give this guy a third of the frame for this towel on his head. That seemed very important for somebody to include this, and what appears to be an alien life form depicted here. Well, whatever is going on here, it seemed to take precedence over whatever Jesus was doing back here. He's in the background. Don't get mad at me. This is look how big this is in perspective with the entire picture. They delegated a good amount of room to this little towel area here, where right in the center of it appears to be an alien. Excuse me for noticing. Next page we have your typical Bible picture, but Of interest is the wall, some sort of brick wall in the background. But the problem is it starts off being bricks and then it turns into other stuff, which is weird. Here is, we have Baphomet again, and if you know what Baphomet looks like, it just jumps out at you. If you don't know Baphomet real well, I'll just show him to you again. He's not a lot of people out there look like Baphomet. So he's gonna, I mean, if you see a face that look like Baphomet, you can't be mad at somebody for recognizing that. He's a crazy, crazy creature. We have this face here. Appears to look a lot like this face here. Needless to say, this is not something typically a Jehovah's Witness would have a good reason to. Do you see it? Do you not see it? If you don't see it, it's not a big deal to me. You know, it's okay. I see Baphomet. You see, I don't know. Donnie the dog. Maybe you just see a harmless dog's face. I see a goat's head. But the problem here, and you may say, well, that's just, it could be anything. But the thing is, this is supposed to be a brick wall. I mean, the bricks are uniform, correct? I mean, even in Bible times, bricks were pretty much just, you know, rectangular blocks of, I mean, what is this? I mean, I understand that over here you have a vine kind of going up the wall and everything, but then it just turns into all kinds of crazy over here. It should be bricks, you know, squares, rectangles, whatever. What is this? It's a face. Well, not just any face. You know, it'd be one. You know, it'd be one thing if it was someone other than Baphomet. It'd be a little bit easier to live with. But God Almighty, I mean, when you have somebody who okay, maybe he's not Baphomet. Somebody that resembles Baphomet, unfortunately, pops up. Well, over here it's even worse. You have what appears to be Baphomet again. If you can see just above the right side of this doorway, we have a very scary looking face. Looking at us there. Do you see it? I see it. And if you don't recognize, and you may say, well, that's just random. It's just very random patterning. Snowflakes are also random, and there's no two that are alike. And yet, we have, you know, we have here. This is from the September 15th, 2005 Watchtower magazine. A very legendary picture of the infamous goat head in Watchtower magazine. Nearly identical face. That's an incredible, I mean, there he is. There he is again. Watchtower Publications. I'm sorry the lighting's not great, but if you have your own book, you're going to see what I'm talking about. There he is. And there he is again, 30 years later in another Watchtower publication. Same face, 30 years apart. Same bad boy. Excuse me, I have the hiccups again. Again, excuse me, but is this necessary? I mean, it's not a big deal. I'm not going to pretend to be offended. You know, it's not. I'm not going to pretend to, you know, oh, I need a fan. I'm not acting like I'm shocked. It doesn't really bother me at all. But I'm asking, since Jehovah's Witnesses are family people, why there keep being pictures of naked men? I know. But here's my point. Wouldn't it have been just as easier just to have a caption, just like a green box that said, Adam, made from dust, return to dust? couldn't that statement alone just stand on its own? Do you really have to have a buck naked guy in a? This is like it's like he was going to have Leonardo DiCaprio paint him. I don't like and then make love in the back of a carriage. He's posing. He's as naked as a country morning, and it looks like he's rolling around. He's really, this is, somebody really put an artist sat down and put a lot of work into this fantasy. And, I mean, somebody spent hours thinking about this naked man that they were carefully drawing. I mean, I wouldn't do it. I mean, even if it was my job to draw a naked man, I mean, I'd give you a stick figure. I'd get that over in 5 minutes. This was a labor of love. For somebody really wanted a juicy picture of a naked man spread out on a. Here we have. This is just a picture that really stays with you. If you're somebody that grew up reading the Live Forever book like I did, this picture just stuck with me for years and years. I still during the daytime, whenever I'm doing something mundane, this picture will still come up in my mind, and I think it's because I am. A fan of Boris Karloff, The Mummy, the classic movie, and what I'm seeing here is a mummy about to strike. This is, I think, I don't know if that's the message they were trying to get across, but Watchtower. I mean, you see, this book is full of pyramids, and I'm going to point out some of the pyramids that keep appearing again and again in this video. There's the Egyptology connection there. And then you have something that looks like a mummy coming back to life. You have Jesus up here. He looks like Elvis. He's happy. He's the women are scared. It looks like he's about to go apeshit. And it looks like, doesn't this look like a scene from the actual movie The Mummy? And he's approaching, and it seems ominous. Maybe you don't see it. Okay, that could just be my personal hang-up. But this seems to be ominous and almost suggesting that Jesus is in the line of attack for this mummy that's coming straight at him. Maybe not. Maybe that's my own personal neurosis, and it's not your problem. But nevertheless, we're here. We're doing it. And I don't know. There's just something about the word shield that seems dirty to me. I don't know why. It just a shield just seems like a fancy place that a French person would take a shit. I don't know. That word is just always, well, what are you going to do about it? Devil-inspired teachings. Oh my. Here's another legendary picture from the good old days of yore. I've noticed, I won't take up too much of your time here, folks, but you may notice, you may see some faces going on in the background here. What always grabbed my attention was what appears to be a skull with water rushing over it. Or maybe it is something rushing over it. Maybe it's a dark spirit, or maybe it's melting. I don't know what's going on here. Nevertheless, it is disturbing. It appears to be a skull rising up out of the water. A little bit frightening if you're a small one. Again, I studied, read this book. I mean, anytime we were going anywhere in the station wagon, they put the Live Forever book in the back seat with me. These words didn't make, you're 5. These words don't mean anything to you. You look at the pictures. And we have some bad boys up here. And we have some hoochie mamas down here. But in between, we have Skeletor, the Castle of Grayskull. Who knows what's going on? Get your own copy of the book out. You tell me. Bare ass. Well, we have the demons returning to heaven. Again, it seems like somebody was inspired by the He-Man thing. No, I'm kidding. But I'm not kidding about the bare ass that is in this book. And I guess it's not a big deal. I guess that's what you could say about every picture. It's not a big deal. And I guess it's really not. But somebody drew a naked little boy with his bare ass, and it was not necessary. I mean, really, why? Why have a naked little boy with his bare ass right there? And I don't get it. Somebody sat down and spent hours drawing this. Like I said, this wasn't something drawn on a napkin. This wasn't something drawn in the margins of your notebook while you're sitting there at school. Somebody sat down with a big canvas and drew this and sketched this and then painted it, and then it was airbrushed and redone and ready for printing, typeset, everything. It took years to put this book together, and somebody really thought bare ass was the way to go. Naked men and naked little boys. They thought that was, I guess it was just what was going on back then. You are involved in a vital issue. You personally. I just always thought it funny. I don't find this menacing, but I just always thought it funny that these two guys are hugging back here. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're just really good friends. It's all right. It's all right. But I just thought it was weird that in the background, it looks like somebody's putting the moves on someone else. Maybe one's a woman, one's a man. I don't know. But they both kind of look like men. I don't know. I mean, if you're really good bros, I guess there's nothing wrong with a manly embrace, but those are few and far between. And it just seems like a rare moment that would be caught on camera here, that you have two men. I don't know. It looks like they're setting in a drive-through theater. Yeah, or a drive-in theater. It just having a beautiful moment during a movie. But well, I know, I'm the bad guy. And we'll keep going here. This is a picture that you can tell me. We have what seems to be a lot of sexual tension in the room. Maybe it's me, maybe I have a dirty mind, but I don't know. Is this supposed to be like Jesus tied up? How is this going to stop him from going anywhere? I mean, this looks more like an S&M thing. This looks like the kind of rope that a gay man would buy at Michael's department store, and then him and his lover would tie each other up. I'm sorry. I know, I'm so bad. But over here you have another very, very handsome, beautiful gentleman, and he appears to be. Now I want to zoom back here. It looks like he's a little girl lifting his dress up. It looks like he's wearing a dress and he's lifting up the front, saying, "Come get your meal." And right below where it looks like he would be lifting his skirt up, you have something here that looks like a bright, shiny dong. No, I'm kidding. But it's just a very strange picture. Again, I guess I'm just making too much of it. But you have two very sexy men here. A lot of intensity going on between them. They don't really look pissed at each other. They look annoyed, like lovers that are jealous. And you have one that seems to be tied up with a very beautiful rope. And they're wearing beautiful clothes. And he's lifting up his dress and saying, "What do you think? Do you like what you see?" And it just, again, it's one of those things where you don't see that right on the surface, but when you blur your eyes out and just really step back, it looks like, I'm done. Tired of wasting time on this. By the way, no, we're not going back there. We have what appears to be, well, I see a face. I see a very menacing face here. It looks like a very scary, demonic face here, but I'm not going to do that because clouds, smoke. You're going to see lots of clouds and smoke in this book. Seems to be a recurring thing. Lots of clouds, lots of smoke. And I don't want to be accused of being a people that sees faces in clouds. It may be the case, so I'm not going to go there. You do it on your own time. I'm not, when I see clouds or smoke, I just, you got to walk away from it because we have, of course, the legendary blonde Jesus. People say, "Oh, it's a different time. It was different times," but it was still the truth. It was the truth, but it's more true now. Blonde Jesus. Look, I don't really have a problem with blonde Jesus. He's, he works for me, but we have We have the blonde-haired, blue-eyed disciples behind him. It's not a big deal. I don't really have a problem. I'm not going to feign outrage, but I just think it's a mild curiosity for me, especially considering we're just gonna go back to we're gonna go back to page 1 of the book. It's funny to me that Jesus keeps being blonde in this book, but for some strange reason, at the very first page, you have in this woman's paisley pattern on her dress, you appear to have the traditional Jesus, like the actual Jesus. Do you see that? I mean, I guess I'm one of those people that sees Jesus in a piece of toast, and you call the Catholic Church to come and confirm it, but that appears to be what the kind of the traditional accepted version of Jesus is, and he's in this woman's dress. Which is and then through the rest of the book you have blonde Jesus. And I don't know, it's a weird one. He's like, there's 8 pictures of him in this book where he's a blonde guy, and I'm moving on. You have the weird star thing in the back of the chair there. We have a problem here. This is a recurring problem throughout the book. Man doing opium. Someone shooting heroin. This is not the only appearance of heroin you're going to see in the book. And people say, "Oh, well, they're just talking about the things of the world. Things are giving a visual description here of things in Satan's world." And you will hear, like, when you try to, talk to a Jehovah's Witness, you're like, how are you letting your kids read this stuff? You want my kids to read this stuff? And they say, well, the Bible has violence in it. The Bible has sex in it. Okay, I grant you that. The Bible doesn't have people shooting heroin in it. You did this. You are showing people pictures of drugs again and again. It's a reoccurring thing. You're going to see it multiple times. Again, I'm not going to pretend to be outraged about it, but this is your stuff. This isn't my stuff. I don't care. We have, oh golly, we have another Bible picture here. Seems innocent enough, but you may again have noticed that we have the disciples, we have Jesus, but something that's twice as big as any of them is this tree that's strangely taking up a third of the page over here. I mean, there's like 8 people over here, but they're swamped in size by this tree. And I personally can't help but wonder, why does this tree get so much attention? Why does it seem to take center stage here, or at least partial stage? Well, I couldn't help but notice what appears to be the face of somebody I recognized. Do you recognize him? Well, maybe not. Somebody called the Green Man. Do you see him? He's right there. There he is. He has a sweet face right there. His big nose, mustache, and there he is again. He's the Green Man. And he hates Jehovah. He's an enemy of Jehovah's, but nevertheless, Jehovah wanted to include him. Message. And you may say, well, it's a tree, it could be anything. I guess. You win. I mean, it's not worth arguing over. I mean, if you look, you either see something or you don't. I see the sweet little face of the Green Man. Sweet little face. Oh! He's very angry at Jehovah. And he's right there. And you may say, well, I'm sure, surely the Bible writers wouldn't do such a thing. Well, you may have a point about that, but, ooh! These Watchtower writers and artists, I don't think they're as innocent as you might believe. I don't know. Just kind of a weird thing there. They're bad boys. Well, let's move on. Oh, that's my Iron Man candy. Would you like some? I eat Iron Man candy. And it's delicious. The tall tree in Daniel chapter 4 represents rulership. Indeed it does. And we're on page 139 now. And we have a bad boy here. It's the tree that represents divine rulership. And at the top we have a crown. A crown floating in the air. And if you get up really close to it, you notice that there's a little something. It's very faint. Barely visible, but on the front, we see what appears to be a pyramid. Yikes. Have a little pyramid with what appears to be an eye in the front, and around it, the lines coming out of it. It's called the semicircular glory, and you may not recognize it at first, but do we have a frame of reference there now? I hope so. Oh, too much of a good thing. And we have what appears to be a triangle with an eye in the center of it, surrounded by lines coming out of it, representing depicting the semicircular glory, which represents the shining, the illumination, the glory, the brightness. And we turn the page here, and we have, a little clearer picture going on. This we have a crown. You can't help but notice that it seems very similar to what you see here, the Great Seal of the United States of America, and have a triangle with an eye and lots of lines coming out from all around it, depicting the brightness. And you may say, "Oh!" But it's of interest that directly below it is the explanation of the 1914 doctrine and how it was calculated. As you may have heard, it was originally calculated from pyramidology. And coincidence? I suppose so. You keep seeing these every time there's a picture of Jesus, there's some big weird tree behind him. And at first I'm wondering, I was like, wait, is this the tree that Jesus cursed in the illustration to show how he curses the religion that does not produce? But then I looked up trees and I'm like, no, I don't think this is a fig tree. This is just some weird tree. Oh my God, there's a face. There's a face, a very disturbing looking face looking directly at J-Man. Here we have Jesus Christ. He seems unwitting, unknowing, not realizing that there is this tree that seems to, it's like a Wizard of Oz thing. A tree with a scary face right in the middle of it, watching Jesus. This is another one of those beautiful pictures that just helps you get to sleep at night. I always wondered, is that a man standing in that window? It looks like the Grim Reaper. Just kidding. But there's this building is full. I know it's a wrecked building. Maybe you're saying, oh, it's just a messed up window. But none of the other, there's windows all over here. None of them look like this. There's an identical window above it, but this one, again, I guess I'm seeing things. It appears to have the Grim Reaper or some sort of apparition. If you've seen a lot of ghost photos, you will recognize the disembodied torso. What I noticed about this, it appears to be a figure in a robe, but with no legs, which is something very common you will see in ghost photographs. I'm really going off the deep end now. Some time for some fresh disco music to bring me back to reality. Well, I'm not going to spend too much time here, but you just can't help but notice that it looks like he's happy. don't know. It's a skeleton, but it seems like he's just has a little stubby there. I know, I'm wrong. But it also kind of looks like a scary... It looks like when I was a kid, I saw like a skeleton up here, but then I saw like another scary... Is that Munchie or some weird 80s, 90s horror character? It looks like some weird face guy down there. I don't know, but when you get older, you say, oh, he has morning wood. And he just woke up next to his lover. And I'll stop. The world headquarters of Jehovah's Witnesses. Executive offices. I don't know. It's strange and retro. Now that all this is going away. Or no, it's just getting better. It's getting better and smaller. And farther away. But this was the mantelpiece of Jehovah's Witnesses, the pride and joy, and it is going to go be with the dinosaurs now. Oh, it's going back to Satan. Satanic people are going to be living in those buildings now that Jehovah operated on, but we have a scary little guy down there. I'll give this one a pass and see he's a pagan man of the world. So they were just demonstrating that. And we have blonde Jesus again. I hate to beat a dead horse, but to me this is, first of all, there's something, there is the sexual stimuli there. You have these older MILF cougar women. I mean, these are like 40, 50-year-old women dressed very provocatively, just kind of have that, that slutty available look. And then you have like a 14-year-old boy below them. Oh, but he's doing pills and shooting drugs. My God. And here's the thing. It's like, whoa, we're just depicting what's going on in Satan's world. Satan's world. We're just showing how bad it is. But here's the reality of the situation. This is the third or fourth time in this book that you study with your family, they're showing people using hard drugs. And I've got a news flash for you. If this were a movie, this is an R rating. Can't have this sort of drug use in a movie without it getting an R rating. That's just the fact of the matter. You can't show this on TV. And Jehovah's Witnesses 30 years ago have this in a book they're studying with kids, and what I keep coming back to is there is no drugs in the Bible. Nobody putting needles in their arm in the Bible. So why are you doing this? Whatever. We have some more goat heads here. Oh, it doesn't matter because it's on a pagan. I know every 3 pages is another satanic thing, but they're only showing how bad it is. Yes, the Live Forever book is full of badness, but it's only to show you how bad it is, over and over and over and over again, and to let your kids see how bad and satanic and evil the world is, over and over and over again, and just let it sit with you for a while. And you keep seeing pyramids, again and again. Oh, it's only to show how bad it was. This is another. I don't know. This guy always looked very familiar to me. All the times I've read Live Forever book, I felt like I knew this man. Well, hang tight. I'm going to give you a moment to mill it over too. I think you've probably seen this gentleman before. Gene Wilder, the Frisco Kid. I mean, he's a dead ringer, isn't he? And here's. I just think it's funny because how many people look like Gene Wilder? Have you ever seen anyone in your life that has that same face? And this book was compiled shortly after the movie, so you just have to wonder and it sure does look like him. And we're moving on. I don't know. I feel like this picture is saying something. I just don't know what it is. I mean, you have Joseph running away from Potiphar's wife, and you have this huge towel that's going across the room. Is this like when the Egyptian magicians made the snakes come to life? I don't know. How is this towel coming? Oh, it's a bed sheet. How is this bed sheet coming to life and going after Joseph. Well, it just is. More smoke, more smoke. Not going to go there. The Jehovah's Witness man being tempted by Times Square. And the filthy women out there. Oh, another pyramid! What a surprise! Another pyramid for no reason, just in the background. Again, every few pages. More smoke. More smoke every few pages. And we'll wrap this up. Let you people get back to your lives. Get back to your lives. Go back to your kitchen table and your children. And your goat heads sitting on your coffee table. Go back to your ancient clay tablets with a goat head, sitting in your family room of your Jehovah's Witness household. Oh, I'm sorry, the lighting's not very good in here. I don't know what's going on anymore. And we're doing it. I'm sorry, this video wasn't very well thought out. Oh, every few pages, more drugs. Drugs and kids. Oh, we're just showing how bad Satan's world is. We're not the ones doing these things over and over and over again. Well, yes, we're technically doing them over and over and over and over again, but it's just to show you how bad it is, even though it's not in the Bible. It's just worldly ways. And we do make up some of it as we go along, but it's just, you know, we're enthusiastic about the Bible, and that's why we show drugs. Drugs and kids. Teenagers using drugs over and over and over and over again. Man dressed as woman? I'm kidding. Boy. She looks like she could bench press this guy. But it's not a man. It's a... Oh, wow. A lot going on here. I'll let you do this on your own time, but... a lot of smoke, a lot of, and we're at the end. We're at the end. Oh, we have a naked little boy! Again, who would have known? More naked men, naked children, but, oh no, he's an African. He's a pot-bellied African, and that's why something's going on there. Something's going on there. Oh, you just have a dirty mind, JW Fairy Tale. You're so dirty. That's obviously his hand sticking out. That's not an oversized genitals. That's your hand. I guess so, but well, we have a problem there as well. I mean, are you standing up right now? Or are you sitting down? Here, well, we have people who are standing up here. I welcome you to stand up as well. We have normal people here. Their hands seem to come down to their thigh, but not down to their knees. Here's a, you know, these are the approximate dimensions of a human being. Your hand, are you standing? Does your hand come down to your kneecap? Oh no, of course not. Look at this woman. Her knees down here, her hands up here. Your hands don't come down to your kneecaps when you're standing erect, as this, well, I guess he's erect in a different way. No, just kidding. Well, I know, and you're saying, you know, his other hand is up here, but this hand, his right hand seems to come all the way down. I mean, his fingers would be past his kneecap, right? And I know this is a silhouette, but was it taken from a drawing? I mean, every other sort of drawing in this book seems to be pretty well done. Why would you have somebody's hand going past their kneecaps if that's what his fingers bigger than his entire face? His other hand's up here. This hand is going down there. Well, maybe it's not a hand. I don't know. Here's the thing. Dilate your eyes out of focus. I'm serious. Just back up, blur your eyes, and look at the silhouette again. No, we're all going to do this together. Right now, blur your eyes out of focus. Thank you. Blur your eyes out of focus. Look at the silhouette. What do you see? And we'll close on that note. Thank you, friends.
Nicole Colon.
I have to visually show you these names so you don't think I'm making them up. Nicole Colon. I'm confused. How is this bad? The stories from the Bible. Hi, Nicole. I think you answered your own question. Okay. And? I'm still waiting to hear why it's bad. There's video games that children are playing that are far more violent than this. This is a book of stories from the Bible that teaches us lessons. To which I queried, what if the violent video games were based on Bible lessons? See what I did there? Jehovah God is playing us all like a video game. No one seems to give mind or care or know anything about it. God is playing us like it's Grand Theft Auto, and then he sets down the Xbox controller and he walks away. He's got nothing in it. There's dead bodies and smoldering shit everywhere. This world is in fucking ruins, and he hops away scot-free, like he's Jerry the Rabbit. He's playing us like it's Strategio or something, and then he gets to go to bed at night like nothing even happened. It's wrong. Do you see that it's wrong? This is not right. He operates people like puppets, like it's Sims. I don't know how else to explain it to you. He's bouncing us around like he's at Chuck E. Cheese's. This is not right. And then we're turning on each other. Nicole Colon is coming on here, demanding an explanation from me. Andy D. Please play with my Andy D. It's so tiny.
This video is fucking crap. It's neither funny nor accurate.
Hi, Andy. Is the JWs and the ones that were given the answers in the video, not me. So could you be more specific? Thanks.
Well, it's made by someone who is an ex-JW, right?
How could that be relevant to the questions raised? Are you trying to answer the questions, Andy, or discredit the person asking them? Eric Jackson. Wow. You are so far off base, it is unreal. Wow. I will pray for you. Off base? Huh? You have no idea how many JWs live in mansions, nor how many celebrities are JWs! Lol. Christian Cruz.
I'm a Catholic, and JW are the only one I've seen doing what the Bible says.
We have Michael Stevenson. He noted that Kingdom Halls and Masonic temples are not the same design, as I stated. I guess he's right about that. A Kingdom Hall does not look like a Masonic temple. It just doesn't. But the thing is, again, it's how you look at it. Obviously, it's not like Skull and Bones where you walk into a Kingdom Hall, people are wearing black robes and they're standing around and there's a cauldron with a flame burning. You can't have that. Jehovah's Witnesses are good, decent little people that think they're trying to do what's right. You can't have some weird satanic stuff going on. Nevertheless, when I'm in a Kingdom Hall, the stage, the podium, the symmetry of the plants, I recognize things that look like an altar. You know, it'd be one thing if we were still in Judge Rutherford times, but it's 2014. Why can't it just be on a TV screen? Why can't it be coming over an intercom like at Bethel? Why can't you have a brother sitting down, instead of standing there having people look at him? Really, is it necessary for somebody to stand there 30, 40 minutes, have them people look at them? I understand it's a traditional thing. You have the speaker in front of it. Yeah, I get it. It's public speaking and everything. But when you think about it, there's no logical. We're always told that Jehovah's people are so logical. Everything. Wouldn't it be more logical instead of the elder bringing attention and glory to himself to humbly sit down and read his talk instead of adding his personal pizzazz to it? Why not just, you have the outline, why not sit down in the audience with everyone else and just read, hold the microphone and read the outline, dispense the information, don't call any attention, unnecessary glory to yourself. Anyway, Masonic temples do not do not look like kingdom halls. Nevertheless, I see similarities there. Maybe you don't. It's not important enough for me to argue with anyone about because I can't prove it. I mean, what am I trying to prove? To who? For why? But how many? I mean, aside from the Great Hall of England or something, you have kingdom halls. You have Masonic halls. What other places are called halls? Oh, by coincidence, the man who invented Jehovah's Witnesses appears to have Masonic connections, which nobody can prove. It's all secret. It's all a mystery all the time. I get it. Nothing's ever confirmed. That's the thing about the secret world of the Masons and the Masonic. None of it is ever confirmable. They go to great lengths to make sure you can never prove a fucking thing about anyone, anytime, anywhere. And there's always somebody standing there saying, "You can't prove that. You can't prove that." I can't prove that. Why do you need me to prove something to you? It's not important enough for me to debate with anybody. If you do not believe Jehovah's Witnesses have a Masonic connection, well, fine and good, no problem. Nevertheless, I feel I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, just very obvious things that I notice. He says there's no clear area in the middle with 3 sides facing inwards and a 4th side with fewer higher chairs. Well, there is I guess it's how you look at it. I see the 4th side with a few higher chairs. It's called the stage. Are you not seeing what I'm seeing? Yeah, it's a square. It has 3 sides facing inwards, 4 side. But it's all perspective. It's all how you see things. I'm not gonna argue with anybody. It's okay. The only similarity could be that there are no windows. But even then, there's plenty of kingdom halls with windows. You're right, Michael. I concede the point. Kingdom halls traditionally did not have windows. The new ones have windows. Of interest is that I've noticed that Seventh-day Adventist buildings look like kingdom halls from the 70s without the windows. I mean, I guess the Kingdom Hall is the poor man's Masonic Hall, and if you see in a Seventh-day Adventist building, it looks like the poor man's Kingdom Hall. I mean, they look like quick-built Kingdom Halls. They look like, the weird garage houses, like the Kingdom Halls used to look like. Look, Kingdom Halls are very flimsy, versions of the Masonic Halls. Masonic halls are masterful buildings. I mean, it's something out of Greek and Roman debauchery. They're made of marble. They tower above people. They're in my town. They're in almost every town you go to has a Masonic thing, and they're like, where did they get the money for this? This building is immaculate. My God. The Kingdom Halls, however, it's like they're built out of paper mache. They're flimsy. In a Seventh-day Adventist building, well, you're wondering, is it different tiers of the same system? You have the super rich, important people in the Masonic halls. The Kingdom Halls are full of the working class, the blue collar, and then the Seventh-day Adventists. You're at the bottom of the barrel. Seventh-day Adventists are the poor man's Jehovah's Witnesses, and I've seen half a dozen of them. They instantly look like Kingdom Halls. They have the little letter, they have the little letterboard on the front telling the times, and out front they have the sign that has the same lettering as Kingdom Halls in the 70s did. They look like Kingdom Halls that haven't been upgraded in 25, 30 years. It is what it is. I stated correct. They are not the same, clearly. But I was on the carpet crew of the regional building committee for almost 10 years. More than once, when pulling up old carpet at remodels, I saw a certain design drawn on the floor beneath. I asked what it was, and the crew leader, Tom Donnelly, McPherson, Kansas, said it was something used by the builders. A few years later, I saw the same distinct design from the upper staircase of an East Coast assembly hall, but still didn't know what it was. Well, turns out years later I learned it was the giant Masonic compass. The artist formerly known as Prince became a JW in 2001. He is currently a long-time relationship with Bria Valente, who he started dating in 2007. I wonder if they practice fornication. I also wonder how many JWs have been DF'd for fornicating. To which I noted, the other option would be to believe that Prince the Sex Machine has been celibate for 7 years. And I want you, the viewer, just take a moment of silence. Do you believe that Prince has not been having sex for years. That he's been dating someone for years. By the way, why would you be if you're a Jehovah's Witness, why would you be courting a woman for years? Isn't courtship just is the precursor to marriage? It's part of the marriage arrangement. You get to know somebody for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, a year, 7 years. Well, I'm not telling, just asking. Fact! Prince is publicly claimed to be a JW. These are the only options. A. Prince is disfellowshipped. Not likely. Prince is inactive. Well, it depends on how you look at it. Prince is disassociated. You know, no. You'd hear about that. You'd hear about that like grease lightning. I mean, 2 days it would be all over every circuit in America. Option D. Prince is an active JW with special privileges. Now we're getting somewhere. Most likely D, based on his public works and words, which contradict all other options. I would only assume that his donations to the society are so great that the money changers turn a blind eye. Theocratic warfare attacks so that they can pay off the child abuse settlements. I think most apologists are confusing being a Christian with being a JW. Being a JW can be defined by very narrow legal terms. That's a very interesting thing that he brought out. Now, perhaps someone in this society is... perhaps they have rationalized, as they have done with so many things before, on so many times before, this is to our advantage, and it serves the cause, therefore we can justify doing it. Theocratic warfare. Even if something is technically wrong, if the benefits to the actual Watchtower Society outweigh the wrongness of whatever the hell is going on, they just clear it. They say, well, the pros outweigh the cons. God be damned, the Bible be damned. Theocratic warfare. Jehovah understands. Jehovah understands, and he's nodding in approval. Something to think about. Something else to think about is option E, which maybe I shouldn't be going here, but I will. Option E. Prince is an Illuminati aristocrat, and the Jehovah's Witness religion is their playground. After a while, you begin wondering if the Kingdom Halls, all the conventions, all the Jehovah's Witnesses walking around are a window dressing for these people's playground. It's like if you've ever been in a big city and you're walking down the street and you see a Vietnamese market and you're like, how could this place get such a front and center spot here in Midtown Manhattan? And then you look through the window and you see in the back there's guys playing poker. Well, you start realizing it's a front. It's window dressing for what's going on behind the scenes, and this whole store that's going on isn't really a store because it's just a big waste of time, and there's something there's something dicey going on in the back room. Somebody wrote me a comment and said, "Did you see on New Girl where the guy gets down off the roof and he has Prince's frisbee?" And the frisbee, it has the eye of Horus. It has the checkerboard pattern, the all-seeing eye, the pyramid. It's got all this bizarre Illuminati imagery. And again, it's just a frisbee. You win every time. You win. It's just a frisbee. But who has a frisbee like that? And the man on the show said his roof is full of these frisbees. Well, who makes these frisbees? Where do these frisbees come from? What toy store did you go to get a Freemason frisbee that has pyramids and the eye of the all-seeing leader on there? I mean, I don't have a video stills from the New Girl episode. I think Daily Wally did. His channel is gone now. Somebody wanted him shut up. Somebody, who knows what video got his, he had hundreds of videos. Who knows which one got him deleted, but somebody wanted him off the face of this earth, and they deleted him. Prince, he's, what's going on and to what end? That's the thing. If you're asking me, what are you talking about? I don't know what I'm talking about. I just have a very strange feeling about things. It doesn't make sense until you start thinking outside the box and you're like, wait, we're acting like Prince is the little man in this big organization. What if he's the big man in this little organization? Huh? What? Stop. We think of Jehovah's Witnesses as this big, monolithic, powerful, billion-dollar corporation, millions of people, millions of kingdom halls, billions of hours on service, billions of Bible studies, billions of people attending the memorial. What if Prince is the monolith? And we are the bugs, we're the roly-polies around the bottom of the monolith. What if Prince is the big thing and we're the little thing? Moment of silence. What if there is a handful of millionaire, billionaire aristocrats and Jehovah's Witnesses is their plaything? What if we're, Prince is serving Jehovah God, what if we're all really serving Prince? What if your donations actually go to Prince? This person's scarf or towel or whatever they have going on here, it takes up the third of the length of the picture. Who do you know? I mean, is this like a wedding train? Is this a I don't know. It's just a guy. I mean, the guy's bigger than Jesus, and it's just a random guy. I mean, there's already 12 people in this picture. They really had to give this guy a third of the frame for this towel on his head. That seemed very important for somebody to include this, and what appears to be an alien life form depicted here. Well, whatever is going on here, it seemed to take precedence over whatever Jesus was doing back here. He's in the background. Don't get mad at me. This is look how big this is in perspective with the entire picture. They delegated a good amount of room to this little towel area here, where right in the center of it appears to be an alien. Excuse me for noticing. Next page we have your typical Bible picture, but of interest is the wall, some sort of brick wall in the background. But the problem is it starts off being bricks and then it turns into other stuff, which is weird. We have Baphomet again, and if you know what Baphomet looks like, it just jumps out at you. If you don't know Baphomet real well, I'll just show him to you again. Not a lot of people out there look like Baphomet. So he's gonna, I mean, if you see a face that look like Baphomet, you can't be mad at somebody for recognizing that. He's a crazy, crazy creature. And he just likes to be included in things. Doesn't like being left out of Watchtower literature. Just wants to borrow the horror. And he's... he really likes having his picture drawn. He's a bad boy. Let's see what we got here. I don't know, do you see it? And we'll move on. kind of life you desire? What about the kind of life Jehovah desires? An enemy of everlasting life. He hates it. Satan hates everlasting life. Who knows why? He just doesn't want you to have it. And, of course, we have 1980s Thief. He's a snappy dresser, by the way. And as you can tell from this picture, he does like Magnum P.I. He's a big Magnum P.I. fan. He selects his wardrobe accordingly. Also, he wanted to steal this particular piece of gaudy jewelry. Oh, my! Oh! It's a pyramid with the all-seeing eye. Pyramid with an eye in it. Who knows what that is? Who the devil is? Who the devil is this? Down here we have a couple of fellows here. There's some bad boys. And you have a guy wearing here like a hot pink striped thing. I can do that. I can make that mental leap in my mind. You have a guy wearing a very shiny, glimmery leopard print outfit in Bible times. He just has that. It appears to be nylon. It's shining, and it's like something a gay guy would have in his, laying on his bed in his bedroom. I'm sorry. We'll move on. And just doing some studying. And oh god, a naked man in a family book. He's lifting his leg ever so slightly there, so you can't see any you can't see the length of his dong, but nevertheless, it seems curious. I mean, I hate to be the bad guy and point this out, but was it really necessary to have... I mean, couldn't they just have that caption? Or could... I don't know. Sometimes they have Adam, in many pictures, publications, cartoons, you'll see Adam, like, laying behind a bush or behind a tree or something. They'll show him from the chest up. But was it really necessary just to have a buck-naked person in a book that you're going to study with your kids? You decide. Here we have a very legendary picture, but I just can't help that notice. And you may not see this at first, but I promise, after you take a look, you will never see this picture again without this jumping right out at you. We appear to have a gray alien drawn into the side of this picture, and there he is. You have... standing right there, the classic gray alien from the X-Files. And, you may say, well, that could be anything, but look at the length of... And what are they doing? Well, they're conspiring to kill Jesus. They just don't like him anymore. But of interest is their little hats here. Apparently it's some sort of turban, or whatever these things are called. Towels. And up here we have something going on, though. This one's logical. Okay, the guy has some sort of apron over his head, and then he has this, the wraparound to hold it on. Up here, what's going on? Whoever drew this was a pretty good drawer. But what? What is that? Well, we'll just go to... we'll see what we can do. We'll just type in... This one's pretty easy. You just type in... we'll go backwards here. And type in Illuminati. By the way, you just type in Illuminati into Yahoo or Bing Images here. And you're going to see a lot of pictures you recognize from Watchtower Magazine, strangely enough. Oh, what's that? Well, it's some sort of Masonic imagery. a snake, a serpent of some sort, in a full circle there. I don't know what he's doing up there. That's not a good thing though. But it just kind of, I mean, maybe not, but otherwise, I mean, you're welcome to explain to me what is this thing going on up here. I don't know. That headpiece at least makes sense. What is this?
Paul shed in the stoning of Christ's disciple Stephen.
And I just couldn't help notice that this gentleman here, is he wearing a leopard print outfit in Bible times? He's is that chiffon? I mean, all joking aside, I mean, living forever. It's not just bullshit. It's more than that. It's bullshit plus. Oh!
And here is very...
Oh! Well, let's get started here. Well, we all know for this beautiful childhood memory, but the point of interest, just below the gas mask here. If you're like me, this just jumps right out at you. Baphomet. Good old Baphomet. And if you don't know who Baphomet is, well, I brought up a little picture here for you. You can kind of see I'll hold it up. See if you catch the family resemblance there. Baphomet. He's a bad boy. And there he is. Oh! That's not focusing, I'm sorry. There he is. He's a bad boy. He's a bad boy. That's what he looks like. And there he is again. Ow! I'm sorry, let me get a bigger picture for you. There we go. There he is. If you'll notice, he's sort of a goat creature. And this isn't the last we'll be seeing of him. He pops up here and there. He's a bad boy.